This is DieCast Street League.
And I'm Roy.
We racing Rock City. Roy, I am excited to be back announcing DieCast Street League Racing.
I'm happy to be back as well. Probably about 25 pounds heavier though.
I know the feeling. The holidays were tasting good.
Man, I ate so much turducken.
What the heck is that?
That's turkey, duck, and chicken mixed together.
Okay, welcome back. This is DieCast Street League. We are here in Rock City. It is a beautiful 79-degree day.
Yes, it is.
Great for racing.
I will agree.
This is a top of the B-class race event, round 3. So you know it's gonna be crazy.
I cannot wait.
You won't have to wait long. Let's get to these cars. 1990 Mazda RX-7, driven by Jalen.
800 horsepower.
2020 Lamborghini Huracan LP6, driven by Dave.
860 horsepower.
2020 Ford Mustang Shelby GT 500, driven by Chris Hood.
900 horsepower.
2006 Ferrari 430, driven by Jaheem.
810 horsepower.
Those are the cars and drivers that will be putting it on the line for our viewing pleasure. We going the best out of 8 races. The top 2 drivers will move on to the 4th round.
I'm nervous. I gotta use the bathroom.
First place gets 2 points. Second place gets 1.
Okay.
Third place will get a half a point. Third round action, expect craziness and a lot of good driving.
That's why I showed up to work.
Let's go! Jaheem has the lead going down the first long straight. Chris Hood is in second place. Oh, Jalen just blew past him, doing about 120 with no regards for human life.
Man, Jalen was driving that thing like he stole it. That man saw the collision and did not slow down. He sped up.
I told you, Roy, this is 3rd round action. Do what you gotta do to get that victory. You see right here, Jaheem had the lead. Chris Hood was all on his bumper. Out of that second turn, they collided and Jalen did not slow down, blew past him.
It was like he did not care if Jaheem came back in his lane or not.
Probably.
He was gonna go through him.
Jalen ended up taking the victory, gapping everybody about 20 car lengths.
I think more than that.
25. Whatever it was a lot.
Shoot, he was doing about 180 coming to the finish line.
He was moving that RX-7, the only tuner left in the field.
Jalen got a 13:09 time. That is a great time for B class or A class.
That's facts, Roy. The RX-7 has 2, the 430 has 1, the Shelby has a half point, the Lambo has 0. Race 2 about to go down. Let's go! Chris Hood has the lead going down the first long straight. Jaheem's in second place, all on that man's bumper. Chris Hood got a little separation, but Jaheem just closed the distance, tried to pass him, couldn't get around him. Chris Hood would hold on to his position. Oh, it was a battle for 3rd place, though.
I had my bifocals on and I still can't see who won.
It was too close to call live, Roy. I'm not doing it. I'ma split the points, give them each a half point. You see, Chris Hood had the lead right here,
and Jaheem was in second place, all on that man's bumper once again.
That's because it's the replay, Roy.
Oh, you're right.
Chris Hood had the first place. Jaheim tried to pass him right there. That was his last opportunity because Chris Hood held it off.
He tried.
For the first place position. Jaheim got the second place. Dave and Jalen got third place. We split it.
I don't blame you for splitting those points. I wouldn't want either one of them guys trying to look for me after the race.
I don't think they want to come after me for a half point, Roy.
You would be surprised what people will get mad over or come after you for.
Like what?
I had a brother-in-law come after me for a turkey leg.
What, Roy? Really?
Yep.
Like argue?
It was a fight.
Whoa. Well, we're not gonna fight around here over a half point. Chris Hood got a 13:11 time. That is a great time for the B class or the A class.
Man, Jalen showed up right at the end like dad asking mom, can I help you with the dishes?
I'm gonna have to try that one, Roy.
Well, it worked for my daddy. She thought he was offering.
She did?
Yeah, but he just happened to be late all the time.
She never figured that one out, huh?
Nope. Never did.
Well, Jalen was late to the line, but he ended up tying and picking up a half point. The RX-7 has 2.5, the 430 has 2, the Shelby has 2.5, the Lambo has a half point. Race 3 about to go down right now. Let's go! The Mazda got the lead over the Ferrari going into the second turn. Jalen still has the lead. Jaheim is in second in that Ferrari. Dave is in third. They would not catch Jalen. He is out. Oh, he just crashed right by Officer Winslow and made a pileup that I have never seen.
I think he swerved to miss that squirrel and crashed.
I don't know about that. Jalen was in first place. Jaheim was in second place. Dave was in second place for a minute, then got passed up on the inside by Jaheim.
Man, they were going at it over that bridge. Jaheim broke loose with the second place position, tried to pass Jalen right there.
But Jalen saw him coming and moved in his lane so he couldn't get past him, and then took the first place position. Jaheim got the second place. Dave would have had the third, but they all crashed.
Man, I bet they was shaking in they boots. They all crashed right there by Officer Winslow. Nasty, you see it right there.
Roy, I didn't see a squirrel.
Okay, watch right there closely. Right there.
Where?
You didn't see it?
No, Roy. I think you might be the only one that saw a squirrel. RX-7 has 2.5, the 430 has 2, the Shelby has 2.5, the Lambo has a half point. Race 4 about to go down right now.
I hope the Lambo wins.
Dave has the lead going down the first long straight. Chris Hood is in second place. Oh, he bumped him and he tried to pass him right there. Jalen spent out and Jaheim passed him. Oh my God. Dave still has the lead. Chris Hood is trying to pass him. Oh, he could not get around Dave.
Dave is out here fending them off. He is driving with all the defense you can have.
He did on that race.
Man, he is fending them off like a fat kid at recess, trying not to share with his friends.
Roy, you give me one every race, I promise.
What?
You see right here, Dave had the lead. Chris Hood was on his bumper trying to pass right there. Tried to pass on the inside and the outside. Jalen spun out. Jaheim drove around that. Chris Hood was trying to drive around Dave.
You can tell Chris Hood got the horsepower to get around Dave if he can just get around Dave.
He was trying with every ounce of his being. But Dave was trying with every ounce of his being to stop that from happening.
It looks like it.
That's racing.
Yes, it is.
It's a battle, and I love it.
Jalen got a DNF in that fourth turn.
He must be having some issues. He spun out twice in one race.
I think he might need some more tires.
Probably.
He gotta be the tires because he's losing grip. Oh, I think my tummy might be hurting a little bit.
Roy, what is your issue?
My doctor's diagnosis is bean burrito.
RX-7 has 2.5, the 430 has 2.5, the Shelby has 3.5, the Lambo has 2.5. Race 5 about to go down. Jaheim in the Ferrari has a slight lead. Chris Hood in that GT500 is on his bumper. Jalen is in third. Jalen just passed up Chris Hood for the second place position. He is trying to pass up Jaheim and will not get it done, but almost got passed up by Chris Hood.
What a race. Man, that was some action right there. Dave caught a DNF 20 feet from the line.
That was a bad break for Dave, but Jalen in the RX-7 and Chris Hood in that GT500 were doing battle.
Those two were going at it like two mules fighting over the last carrot.
That was funny. Jaheim had the lead. Chris Hood and Jalen was jostling for the second place position. Coming out of that second turn, Chris Hood had the second place, Jalen had the third place. Chris Hood made a mistake and left the door open for the inside position. Jalen walked right through it.
I can tell you one thing about Jalen. When he see that door open, he gonna fly right through it, no matter what the consequence is.
I would have to agree with you, Roy. He was trying to get that first place position bad, but almost lost the second one.
Third round is crazy.
Chris Hood crept up to his door and tried to challenge. Jaheim got a 14.26 time. RX-7 has 3.5, the 430 has 4.5, the Shelby has 4, the Lambo has 2. Race 6 about to go down right now. Let's go! Chris Hood has the lead going down the first long straight. Dave and Jaheim are jostling for the second place. Oh, Jaheim came out with the second place position. He tried to pass. Oh, he did pass Chris Hood on the inside. Nasty. It would take the first place victory. Chris Hood would take second place. They are the only two to score points. Oh my God, we have a double DNF. Coming out of the first turn, Chris Hood had the lead. Dave and Jaheim was neck and neck going into that second turn. Jaheim came out with the second place position. Dave was in third.
Chris Hood stumbled just a little bit, and that allowed Jaheim to close the distance to make this pass right there.
Roy, Jaheim saw his opportunity and hit the gas right there, blew past him. He had no time to get through that small window, but he got through it.
Great pass.
Took the first place position.
We don't see many passes going into that fifth turn right there into that S-curves.
Nope, it doesn't happen that often, Roy, but when it does, I get excited. Jaheim in the 430 got a 15.40 time.
I know that was a great pass and all, but the time was a little shaky.
The RX-7 has 3.5, the 430 has 6.5, the Shelby has 5, the Lambo has 2. Race 7 about to go down right now. Jalen in the RX-7 has first place on lock. It's a battle for second place, but Dave came out with the second place position. He is trying to pass Jalen. Chris Hood is in third. Jalen looked like he's gonna blow this thing out the water. Dave got second place. Chris Hood got third.
Man, Jalen started the race in first place and ended in first place.
Yes, he did. He ran a perfect race. 430 took a DNF right there in the last turn. Jalen had the lead as soon as the light dropped. It was the battle for second place. Dave and Jaheim was jostling, but Dave came out with the second place position, tried to pass it right there by Jalen, but Jalen shut the door, tried to pass him again. Jalen moved in his lane once again.
Man, Jalen was playing perfect defense. You see it right there. He moved in his lane, and then Chris Hood passed up Jaheim for the third place position.
Yes, he did, Roy. Thanks for pointing that out. I did not see that live.
I got those hawk eyes. I know without me, there would be no show.
You really think so, Roy, huh? You pointed out one thing I didn't see.
Yes, I do. And I also wonder, What is Jaheim over there thinking about?
I'm guessing the reason he didn't finish the race.
Well, dang. You are good. That was my guess too.
Roy, it wasn't a hard guess. That would be the only thing you would be thinking about at this moment. Jalen in the RX-7 got a 14-second time.
Man, you are right again.
The RX-7 has 5.5, the 430 has 6.5, the Shelby has 5.5, the Lambo has 3.5. The last race about to go down. It's a close one, it's anyone's race. Let's go! Dave has the first place position, Jalen's in second, Chris Hood is in third. Jalen just tried to pass on the inside and the outside. He is trying to pass on the outside again. Cannot Dave shut the door? Jalen trying to pass again, will not get past Dave. Dave is playing defense like no other.
I told all of y'all he is playing great defense.
You see, Dave had the lead going down that first long straight. Jalen was on his bumper trying to get around him. He tried the outside and the inside on that second straight. Right there, he tried to get around him on the outside.
Man, Jalen tried everything possible to get around Dave. He tried to spin him out right there. He was sideways on the street. He ended up getting it straight and taking his car to the first place victory. Jalen tried to spin him out.
Yeah, he did, but it didn't work.
Several times.
Man, with that race, it is a three-way tie. Chris Hood, Jalen, Jaheim will battle it out to see who moves on first and second. Dave got a 15.74 time. The RX-7 has 6.5, the 430 has 6.5, the Shelby has 6, the Lambo has 5.5. Jalen has the best time. He will start in the inside lane. Chris Hood has the second best time. He will start on the outside lane. Jalen had a 13.9 time. Chris Hood had a 13.11 time. Let's go! Jalen's in first place going down that first straight. Jaheim in the Ferrari's in second place. He just got passed up by Chris Hood. Chris Hood is now trying to pass Jalen for the first place position. Can he get it? Oh, he bumped him but could not get around him. Jalen would take first place. Chris Hood would take second. The 430 Jaheim is driving that would take a DNF.
Man, that's how you do a tiebreaker. You put it all on the line.
That was a great race. Jalen had the lead right there. You saw Chris Hood just pass Jaheim for the second place position. Nasty. He was on Jalen's butt.
But once again, Jalen was fending them off. This is a defensive series.
There was a lot of defense blocking. Yes, Roy, it was.
I love it.
I love this race series. It was different. Jalen in the RX-7 won first place. He's been running like a boss all day long. Chris Hood in the GT500 came in second place. He is running great too. It could have been anyone's race. All four cars were really close together. Jalen pulled it out and took the victory. They both will move on to the next round. Thanks for watching DieCast Street League. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the old bell only if you want to.
It is free.
Let's go.